fortunes turned and spending came to a screeching halt. We laid off 9,000 people and our stock plummeted. And because MGM Resorts is the largest employer in the state of Nevada, it was also catastrophic to the state as well. And in the midst of all this, we were halfway through building a $9 billion project called City Center, which included the Mandarin Oriental, the Aria, the Vidara, and the famous Crystal Shopping Center, which includes Prada, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and others. But the bank stopped lending to us, and so we were sort of stuck. And I remember my CEO kind of telling the story of him sitting in his office with the bankruptcy papers ready to sign, and there were literally news helicopters flying above overhead circling the property, waiting for the story to break that Las Vegas had gone bankrupt. Miraculously, we were able to secure financing at the last minute and finish the City Center project. Here's what it looks like today, and it's stunningly beautiful. And it has some of the top-rated hotels in the city and even the world. But once we got through that financial crisis, we took a step back and acknowledged that the world had changed. We needed to start acting with more business discipline and to figure out who we wanted to be as a brand. We decided that our new mission would be to entertain the human race. Yeah, we're pretty ambitious. So we did research on what entertainment means to people. And we learned that people deal with a whole lot of stress in their lives, hard, uncomfortable, and painful stress. And they use entertainment as a reward to cope with stress. But why is entertainment such a powerful carrot? Well, neuroscience tells us that our brains are wired to minimize pain and to maximize pleasure. And so when people come to Vegas, they're subconsciously expecting their entertainment activities to do just that. They want to get rid of those feelings of loneliness, of exhaustion and hunger and boredom, and they want to replace those with excitement and connection and relaxation. And those insights are the basis for what is now our new first ever national advertising campaign that I'm very excited to show to you right now. Have a look. Thank you. That's exactly the reaction I was hoping for. But as you can imagine, when you show it up a hotel, creating great experiences that inspire joy and excitement and that thrill don't just happen by accident. We had a monumental task to set the foundation for a cultural transformation across all of these different properties, so that we had to define consistent service standards across 27 different resorts, each of which had different brands, different positionings. We had to train 77,000 employees. We had to get the endorsement and support from our senior leadership. And we had to empower our employees to be able to wow our guests without having to ask for permission to do so, and not punish them when they actually spend money to fix things that go wrong, but actually celebrate them and treat them like heroes when they do. So we made it easy for our employees to remember how they can create defining moments for our guests using the acronym SHOW, which stands for Smile and Greet, Hear Their Story, Own the Experience, and Wow the Guest. And we made sure that everyone has an action plan based on SHOW for their specific role, as you can see here, so that they can actually figure out what that means for them. We even put posters in employee areas to make them feel like the stars of their show, like these posters that say, "This is my stage, we are the show." So I'm sure that you've all heard the quote from Peter Drucker that says, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." Well, let me bring that to life with a story. A couple of weeks ago, one of our security officers noted that a guest had accidentally left a winning ticket in the casino and had walked away, and we had no idea where they were. And so that security guard went to our surveillance cameras, which covered 99% of the casinos, by the way, and was able to identify when exactly the ticket was left, what the individual looked like, and where she was, which was a totally different part of the resort amidst hundreds of other people, and was able to return that ticket to her. And this was her reaction when that ticket was returned. That security officer got a great big hug from that individual. And so this is what happens when everybody in the company believes that they can do something special to create a better experience for the guest, whether it's part of their job description or not. Another example, in the Aria Resort, there was a couple who arrived at 3 a.m. without a reservation on a sold-out night. And they were distraught because they had driven all night to get there in time to say goodbye to a family member who had fallen ill. And they explained that this might be the last time that they have to say goodbye before she passed away. So the manager spent the next 30 minutes calling resorts all over the city, and actually ended up finding a room at a competitor that was the last available one in the city, but it happened to be a really large and expensive suite. So he negotiated a cheaper rate, arranged for a limo to take them over to that competitor property, and made sure they had a place to stay. That kindness of treating somebody like you would want to be treated is something that creates loyalty. And so a couple weeks later, that manager got a letter from those guests that was heartfelt, filled with gratitude. And to this day, they are loyal 100% to the Aria brand. So for us at MGM Resorts, achieving a customer-centric culture requires continual focus in 6 areas: guest feedback, employee feedback, rewards and recognition, training, communications, and performance management. I believe that as more companies understand how to transform their cultures to become more customer-centric, there will be a ripple effect that compounds, or a ripple effect that improves life for all of us in small ways, that compounds in profound ways, as we treat others as we would want to be treated and strive to make experiences a little less painful and a little more joyful. Thank you.